Alright, we should be good. Well, welcome back everyone to Fangame Marathon 2021. I'm Andrew, I'm going to be the new host for the next few hours, but right now we got Make a Good Mega Man Level Episode 0 by PineappleDerp. And, yep, take it away.
Alright, hi. Welcome to MagMammal Episode 0. This is another contest in the MagMammal series, although it wasn't so much as a contest as just a collaborative Mega Man effort with a significantly different gameplay than what you might be used to. But it's still, I think, the most recent release in MagMammal, so
Yep.
It should be a very fun watch.
This game has fast movement. It's a lot closer to the X and Zero series than just normal classic Mega Man, so it's pretty fast-paced, as they say.
Pretty long run. Most people take like 3 or 4 hours on their first time, but PineappleDerp is a god, and he's currently holding the world record with like half an hour to go to the second place time, so that should tell you a lot. He won't be talking that much, but he'll certainly make up for it with his gameplay. And yeah, if we are about ready to go, I can give the countdown.
Whenever you're ready. Good luck.
Alright, let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, we're off, let's go. So, explosive freefall. Pyro, why is everything suddenly exploding around us? Why are we falling?
So, this game has cutscene skips, unlike the previous entries in the MagMammal series. Well, I guess one Master has them, but just there was a long intro cutscene that just got skipped. This is right after the end of the very first Mega Man level game, right after Mega Man fights Zero, the completely real, definitely awesome connection to the X series Zero that isn't an MSK gauntlet at all. And now he's been left for dead and has to escape from the fortress. PineappleDerp is using the hooded costume, though, which you may remember from the second game. That's MS Paint Zero's disguise. Spoilers, I guess. You can start with this, the MS Paint Zero, or just a normal Zero costume if you don't feel like looking at Goblin Zero for forever.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just going for explosive freefall right now. This is basically the intro stage. It was made by my lovely co-commentator snoruntpyro. Mostly auto-scrollers, but there is some cool platforming in between with the enemies from Glassman making an appearance. And yeah, this is just since this game is set as an intercal in between MagMammal 1 and MagMammal 2, we're just seeing like the remains of what Mega Man went through in MagMammal 1, and we are soon going to be setting the stage for entirely new levels.
Yeah.
But the more or less theme of this game was that people went and picked out some of the entries from older MagMammal games to sort of remix. They could also just choose to make completely new levels, but a large number of them just put a twist on existing MagMammal entries. That's most of what we're going to be going through today.
Yeah, this one is based off the very first, the last place entry in the first game, Operation Main Space, which was just a drop to the exit. Now it's actually a level. Gotta dodge stuff.
Yeah. You could hypothetically get some bolts from these meteorites, which would be nice for later, but I guess we'll talk about bolts a bit later. Right now we've exited the prologue and we're going into chapter 1. From 0 to 0. This game is split up into 3 chapters, chapter 2 being by far the longest. I would say on a good run, it's like chapter 1 is half an hour, and then chapter 3 is half an hour, and then chapter 2 takes up the remaining hour. Not exactly like that, but about. This is Surveillance Canyon, another level made by snoruntpyro. You want to talk about it?
This is the hardest level in the game. You can't beat it.
It's true.
All jokes aside, this level, I don't usually make easy levels, and then I made the first 2 levels, and a lot of people had trouble. with beating the first 2 levels. But, oh,
Oh, that's an unfortunate death. Thankfully, I believe there was a checkpoint right here. This
Yeah.
game is somewhat lenient still in the first couple stages. A lot of spikes are not instant kill spikes, and there are regularly there are very frequent checkpoints. Right now we have basic equipment. We only have the Z-Buster. You have already seen PineappleDerp can angle it to fire a little upwards and downwards, but very soon we're gonna get a transmission from Wily, and he's going to give us 2 additional weapons. Right there, we got the Z-Saber, which you should be familiar with if you've played any later Mega Man X or Zero game, and the Z-Burst, which is new. It's like a spread shot of 4 fast-moving piercing bullets, and it's pretty good. They're both pretty substantial upgrades to the Buster, but unlike the Buster, they use weapon energy. So, for the rest of the stage, we're gonna be mostly using Z-Burst to clear out these airborne enemies. But occasionally there will be points where we'll have to watch out for, PineappleDerp will have to watch out for his ammo.
yeah. For people who ask what any % collect call means, that will not be relevant until Chapter 2.
Yeah,
so for now,
that'll
it's
be...
just a straight shot in the story to a specific point.
Yeah, that'll be relevant like in half an hour, so we'll explain it when it comes. It'll make sense later. Right now we are at this huge world map, and yeah, we're just gonna navigate our way until we find the first central hub, basically, and our next destination is Gusty Gorge. This was the first level not made by a developer. This was, I think, Spade Magnes?
No, SVN Renga.
Oh, SVN Renga, similar name,
Yeah.
okay. This level is pretty known for still being difficult. Especially when you're going fast, there's a lot of pits that are really easy to fall into, and you can easily get blown back by the wind, or get caught at an inopportune time by a squirrel. So yeah. It's pretty tough to speed through. Again, the Z-Burst does a lot of really good clearance on the enemies. And yeah, that's basically it.
One thing that hasn't been discussed yet is, since Explosive Freefall has its own unique controls, the first few stages are where you actually, or after it, that is where you really get to start to see the movement in this game. The biggest difference between this and the X series, besides there not being a wall jump, is that you can do a stomp and a stomp dash, which is faster than the normal dash, but more dangerous, and you can fly off into pits while you're using it if you're not careful. Based off the modern Sonic stomping.
You can see whenever PineappleDerp is stomp dashing, because he'll have a trail of stars behind him while dashing, as opposed to the regular dash. I think that was added in a later update?
No, it was always like that.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I
it was a different
remember
effect, but there was always an
development
effect.
guy.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's Gusty Gorge. Next we're going to move into a level that, you know, some of you may recognize parts of its design. This is Defeat the Giant Spearman. And it's largely based on Warrior Land. I think it's like all of the first 4 games.
Yeah, I think all 4 of them get referenced here.
Mostly
Warrior Land 1 and 4, though.
Yeah. If you know Warrior Land 1 or Warrior Land 4, you may be able to guess what we're in for at the end of the stage, but for now, we're just gonna speed through, and there'll be mid-bosses occasionally. There is one recurring mid-boss, the aforementioned Giant Spearman. He gets stronger with every appearance. And, yeah. He starts out with only half health, starts out pretty weak to the Z-Saber, 4 damage. That'll get more difficult as things go on. One thing I should explain early, you'll often see PineappleDerp going out of his way for bolts. Bolts are a currency in Mega Man. They're not relevant in most speedruns, but in this run, we want to get 999 bolts before a certain story progression point in Chapter 2, so that we can buy a specific item that'll help us go fast in the rest of Chapter 2 as well as all of Chapter 3. So whenever you're seeing him go out of his way for some bolt that an enemy happens to drop, or some bolts on a nearby ledge that seem to be out of the way, that is very much intentional and very good, because that item is super handy.
This is pretty much the easiest level in the game, so this is the little breather. You get one breather as a treat after Surveillance
This is
Canyon.
a notable step down in difficulty from the previous 3 levels. That said, in the speedrun it's very much possible to die here still, as I've proven again and again over time. This right here is the final incarnation of the Giant Spearman. He's now got a full health bar and he only takes 2 damage from the Z-Saber, and he has a boatload of attacks. I think these mostly reference other warrior games. I know there was like a few where he can call in enemies from other Warrior Land games. And yeah, you probably have guessed this already, but yep, it's time for her.
Yeah! Warrior Land 4 is one of my favorite games, so when this got submitted, it was just pandering to me.
Yeah. I think this timer was set at like 7 minutes initially.
Yeah,
but then...
it got made a lot harder.
Yeah, it got reduced, and it's still pretty generous, honestly. Throughout the level, you can also collect these, like, triangular little gem things. And if you get 4 of them, you do have a chance at, a CD. This game actually has a lot of content beside the main game that we're not going to be showing off, including an entire huge CD database akin to, Mega Man Base. And many other things that we'll surely be addressing throughout the run. For this run though, it's not relevant, and I don't believe anyone's ever ran 100%, so if you want a free world record, then be the first.
I'll be back.
Alright. So, we've made it back to the start, we're gonna collect a couple more bullets here, and that is the end of Defeat the Giant Spearman. Alright, and thus we actually get to our first main hub in the game. It's unfortunate Pyro isn't here right now. But this is Mega City, our first really central hub. And we're gonna be meeting a gang called Srara. Now I don't remember what Srara stands for. I was gonna ask Pyro this conveniently, but this is Srara Up and Down. Srara Up and Down is a relatively simple fight. We didn't actually have its weakness yet, so we're just gonna use the Z-Saber for 2 damage per hit. Since Mega Man bosses generally run with 28 health, that's 14 hits, and Srara Up and Down can go like in the air and beneath the ground to hide, but this is still a pretty easy fight. Following this, we get a pretty lengthy cutscene with a scientist named Dr. Hyde, and she gives us 2 new things. She gives us the blank drive and the cutter chip. Now those are 2 fundamentally different things. The blank drive is our 4th and last main weapon, next to the Buster, the Saber, and the Burst. The cutter chip is something different that can be used to enhance all of these 4 if you have it equipped. But it also depletes its own energy while it's running. You can see PineappleDerp already making great use of the cutter chip here, because a lot of the cutter chip enhanced weapons pierce the shields of many enemies found in the stage. This is Kingdom Crisis. It has a bunch of annoying enemies, mostly these Hammer Joes and Mets. But yeah, with the cutter weapons, we can just slice through them. Every weapon gets a different, like, they get different abilities when they're enhanced by different chips. There are, let's see, there's the cutter chip, the zap chip, the icicle chip, the flame chip, and the psycho chip. They all do different things to the weapons, and it's a pretty cool system of doing it. For the cutter chip, it's mostly like a boomerang and piercing effect. So we're gonna be using all of these weapons a lot, because it's gonna be a while before we get our next chip. That'll be acquired sometime in Chapter 2. Yeah. Are you back yet, Pyro?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So what does Srara stand for? What is this shit?
Yeah, it was already said. It was already said in the chat. Simulation, recon, and regulation administration. If any people in the chat have played Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, well, they're just the Ultra Recon squad. They're the little funny men, and they are the main villains of this game.
It's worth noting that the blank drive actually does not do anything on its own, unlike the other weapons, so if you have the basic chip equipped, it won't actually do anything. Eventually you can upgrade it to still do something, but that's basically a 100% only thing. This is Swamp Man. He's definitely not Concrete Man, but with a swamp as his head. and
Yeah.
he did live pretty long because he's pretty weak to the cutter chip.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things about the way this game is structured. Since you get the cutter chip and that's the one you're stuck with for a while, either the boss is weak to it horribly, or you just have to buster down the boss.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Alright, we actually had a split path right there. Our other option was Contra Base instead of Kingdom Crisis, but that one's... yeah, not a good option. So here the split path, converges again, and we're going into Lost Valley. Lost Valley, once again, a level that benefits from the cutter chip significantly because there are these skull enemies that are shielded on the back. There is the bats. There is the shield attackers in this section. It's just really pleasant to breeze through with the cutter chip in general.
Stomp dash plus rolling slash is the best thing ever. So
Yeah, the saber doesn't get a boomerang effect. Obviously, you don't throw it. You just get this spinning, rolling air slash, which is one of the best techniques in like the Mega Man Zero game generally.
yeah.
This level interestingly uses these platforms that go up and down as well as the ones with spikes on either side that flip around, and I think they're both from Tomahawk Man. Originally I thought, like, when I first saw the up and down platforms... Are we... Wait,
Yeah,
are
I think
we,
yeah, it's chopping.
Okay, yeah, I thought it's chopping on the screen share as well, but I didn't know. Okay.
If it helps to just stop screen sharing, then.
Of sorts. This is oh. Okay.
Seems to be pretty behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching PineappleDerp like at the end of Lost Valley in the screen share, so
Yeah. Stream got infected with the Zero virus. Oh.
God. Well... We're due about
I'm in
this.
doubt half the bit rate.
Yeah, right, turn on the bitrate was my first, or was like, yeah, the first suggested thing. That helped with me as well. Because it was also dropping frames towards the start of the 24-hour run.
Yeah, I have no idea where PineappleDerp even is now, since...
Yeah, PineappleDerp turned on your bitrate by like 1,000. Well, I think he had it at 2.5k initially, so...
Oh, the audio is still there, but the video isn't. Yeah, he's in Sky High Ridge. Oh, wait.
Oh.
Is it back?
Wait.
It's really choppy, but at least it's showing Sky High Ridge.
Yeah, he's in Sky High Ridge.
Maybe? It's still pretty choppy.
Sky High Ridge. I think this is another one where we had a split path, and our choice was Sky High Ridge instead of Twilight Terrace, which I would argue is easier, but Sky High Ridge ends up being a little faster despite having an auto-scroller. It is pretty punishing to die late though, because you just bound to get super unfortunate cycles on these exact platforms right here. PineappleDerp took a manual retry from the menu.
The pause menu, yeah. Oh no.
Well, okay.
Man.
We're looking a bit crunchy, but as long as it's smooth. Oh god. PineappleDerp took a manual retry from the menu. That's an option you can do in this game to just restart from the latest checkpoint. It's actually pretty fast, so if you want to do it and just regain your health at a checkpoint real quick, that's gonna be your option of choice. Oh god. Okay. I don't know what the bitrate is at right now. It seems like 500 or something. But okay. This is Abandoned Lab. Abandoned Lab is one of the longest stages in Chapter 1. It's got these mag flies as like the main gimmick. They're supposed to carry you across a wide bunch of gaps. There is a couple where we'll have to do that, but there's also one where if all goes well, we can just skip that and just damage boost across the spikes. Yeah, I mean, PineappleDerp isn't screen sharing in the voice anymore. We're just watching off of the stream.
Oh.
So There's nothing we can do about it. I think I'm already on low latency mode, so
yeah. You guys try refreshing VLC if you're commentating through that.
No.
Oh, you're just watching a stream.
Watching the main stream.
Oh, you're just watching the main stream. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can send you the link to just like watch it through VLC if you guys can. You'll have less delay if we do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you guys that. And Pineapple, maybe turn up bitrate a little bit. Like it's looking kind of crunchy right now. But...
Damage boosting over the map. I have not seen this strategy before.
Yep, that's what I was talking about. I've already tried pausing and unpausing. It's not doing all that much. This is super unfortunate. I think he's turning up the bitrate again. Hopefully. Okay, yeah, it's looking a little better. It's looking okay, and it's not choppy, so.
This auto scroll.
Alright, I guess
you can't.
I guess we're just going off with the main stream since I'm not receiving a DM.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah. Sorry about that. You didn't miss that much. Abandoned Lab is, like I said, a lot of magfly flying. There was a bunch of climbing as well. Once again, cutter chips super helpful. This section is rough to do fast because you have these junk blocks falling overhead and there's hits everywhere. Let's see. Oh, there's a DM.
This is mostly based off the Mega Man 3 Fortress. And soon, a familiar face will be appearing.
I don't think I have VLC Media Player. Oops.
You don't have VLC Media Player?
I don't seem to. Okay, well.
Oh, I haven't used this option since last Fangame Marathon, so I still have the link from the 2020 run in.
Oh, nice.
That's really funny. But yeah, here's Dog Robot with 3 health bars. Got 3 phases. Soft weak to the cutter chip. Yeah, it's based on Ruin Lab from Magma 2, but it's still based off of Mega Man 3 Fortress.
Alright, I'm gonna leave the commentary to you for a bit while I download VLC Media Player.
Woo! We're doing a VLC Media Player speedrun down. Doc Robot's main thing is imitating a bunch of Robot Masters. He switches between a bunch of different ones, and then the final phase, he pulls out the Quick Man pattern. You gotta survive. Also, yeah, X5 Sigma music, which is so good. I love this song. This is definitely a really challenging boss in the early game, because you're likely to not have that much E-tanks, and you only have Cutter Chip for a soft weakness, but you can make it through.
Okay.
Download percent.
Hold on. I think I'm doing it. It's happening.
Next up is Subterranean Stronghold, almost at the end of Chapter 1. This level is pretty basic. Got, a funny up and down platforms.
Alright, I think I'm synced up with you on DLC. Thank goodness that was painless. Alright, you go.
Yeah, Doc Robot actually got, nerfed. The boss was not weak to Cutter, so it was even tougher for first-time players. There are quite a few things that were nerfed or changed, both in playtesting and patches. No, this is the second to last stage of Chapter 1. There's one more stage after this.
Yep.
I guess this was never said earlier, but like was said at the start of the run, this game was not actually a contest. It was instead a collaboration where people submitted and the levels were tested and judged by a QA team, and then modified if necessary to fit into the final game.
Yep. And it did come out a lot more pleasant and generally higher quality that way. You don't have like any bottom of the barrel levels, like you would in a regular mag mammal. This was also, I think this was made using the Megamix engine, right?
Yeah, this is finally starting to get into this is the actual engine that we're using for all the future Magma games. But obviously, modified for a new playable character.
Yeah. Like the Megamix... Oh, okay. The Megamix engine is like pretty much the best engine out there currently for Mega Man Fangames, and it includes almost everything that you can find, like, officially as far as enemies go, and
yeah, there's like 300
including
enemies.
Like obscure stuff from like the Wonder exclusive Japanese exclusive sequel to Mega Man Base, and like the Game Boy games and all that stuff. Anyway,
there are a bunch of challenges that feature stuff even in this level, like those cannons. But now you get a funny Punk cameo appearance.
Honestly, pretty tough. He does a lot of damage, but he also takes a lot of damage even while shielded from the Z-Saber. So he can endure runs on low health, but he can also go down just as easily. There's a bit of luck in that fight as well. This is the final level in Chapter 1. This is Vertical Hunger. It's largely based on Boomer Kuwanga stage from Mega Man X, as you can probably tell by the music. And there's this searchlight gimmick that generally it's easy to not run into it, but if you do, then you're gonna lose a bunch of time because the path ahead just closes.
Yeah.
There's also a bunch of elevators in this level. This could technically be really good for getting some extra bolts that are not routed in. If you happen to get lucky. I think PineappleDerp has it routed out such that he's guaranteed to have the 1000 bolts by the point he needs it in Chapter 2 without relying on drops, but I could be wrong on that.
I'm curious, still behind.
Generally really tough. I find myself coming short on bolts a lot, and 999 is a very sizable amount to come up with when you're just going through the stages. We're still behind? I'm
not sure. We're
now, so...
Yeah, both of us are watching.
Yeah, that's as good as it can get. Unless he started screen sharing in Discord again, which I'm not sure we want to risk it.
No, there was no screen sharing. I mean, even it seems the commentary is even behind the actual stream itself. It's very odd.
That's weird. No, from what I'm seeing, it's not behind... unless... Hold on.
Well, you know, we're just gonna have to start predicting the commentary in advance. Wow, I can't believe he just got Screen Ghost skipped.
you just kind of damage race each other to the death. It's not a pleasant fight. This is not the end of the level. There is a bit more after this, and Stream is frozen on me again.
Well, that's just the thing with oh. Yeah, it's on... Oh, no. Oh, come on. Did the stream die completely? Yeah, I can't connect on VLC.
Yeah.
Hacking this. Yeah, Boomer Kawanger is hacking the stream! No!
Oh my god. This is unpleasant. The bitrate rate is already down a lot, so I don't... Oh, wait. Okay. Feels... seem to be helping all that much. That's super unfortunate.
Peel Jade into the alarm area. Wow.
Okay, well. I might as well try refreshing this again, but I don't think it'll get me much further ahead, so... Might be better to commentate off the main stream at this rate.
It just froze again.
Oh.
What the?
Really? This is super unfortunate.
I don't know myself. I know that he did a test stream yesterday that worked completely fine.
Yeah. I know issues when connecting to this stream server in particular, but those were fixed quickly after turning down the bitrate, so...
Yeah, you can try switching to the Europe server, maybe. If you are a Europe runner. I'm not sure, but... maybe good.
Well, I was literally just about to say it seems to be there, and now it's not.
Yeah, it seems to be there. Nope. Classic. But what server are you connected to right now?
I'm not sure if the server has changed yet. What exactly is the trigger? Go to the end of the room.
Yeah. As soon as the final room in the museum loads in, like at the very right, on the bottom floor, that's when you can go out and get the other cutscene.
I'm not gonna say anything. Alright, so now we're in the Zap path.
Alright.
So, what happens with this game is that Chapter 2 is the longest because it splits off into 4 different paths, and they each end in a new chip, and the Zap chip is the fastest one. So, well, you go the Zap path first.
Yeah, that chip actually gives you a speed multiplier of, I think it's 1.25.
Yeah.
So just having it equipped is really, really great. It makes the run a lot faster, so... there are 9 levels on every path. There are 36 total levels we could go into here in Chapter 2. We need to clear 27 of them to progress in the story. So, you could clear out 3 different chip paths, or you could do any combination of these 36, technically. Most runners will opt to clear the entire Zap path first for the additional speed, then clear the entire Icicle path, because the Icicle chip comes with one particularly super busted weapon and gives you a bunch of weaknesses to use against bosses. And then they'll do a mix of the Flame Chip path and the Psycho Chip path, which is, I think, yeah, which is what we're gonna be doing today as well.
So you only get, there are 5 chips in total, but you only get 3 in the 90% route.
This right here is Force Facility. It's taken a good amount of inspiration from, I think the Quickening from Magmammal 1, as well as Force Man from Magmammal 2, as well as Quickman.exe stage from Network Transmission. We see the Force Robot right here. That's like a nod to Force Man, and the rest of the stage is pretty much based off of Quickening. The two share like the same central gimmick, which was obviously Force Beams. And yeah, and here we go.
Everyone loves the Pelican. Yeah, the
Pelican's
ice chip blank drives I think is very helpful for speed runs. Yeah, their collect spells will soon be relevant. I don't actually remember where it's first utilized though.
Yeah. Okay, it seems like the DLC just actually isn't any ahead of the stream, so...
Yeah.
Collect calls will become relevant in a couple levels. I think it's actually not until... Yeah, not until like the very end of the Zap path that we start to use them. But yes, we got a little gadget called the Z-Phone. And that's exactly what it refers to.
It's
so
based off the,
I know
it's
we're
based off
behind
the Poke Walker.
but,
And stuff.
Pepsi Zero, the greatest stage in name and design. We're gonna be fighting through this. There's a lot of... We're supposed to avoid all these Pepsi cans, but we're just gonna damage boost through a lot of them to get through certain sections faster. And then there's a huge section of enemies holding keys, and you have to destroy them. This is like one of the kind of oddball levels on this path. Usually the levels are like sorted after theme on their respective paths, with like Psycho Chip path being the wildcard one, but this one's technically a little bit odd for this path as well.
Gotta have that variety. The actual sorting was just done after all levels were submitted, so everything was just sort of fit into where I thought it fit best. So you got the city level and the elect path. And of course, the star of the show on this level is the boss, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. I think there's still an auto scroll at the very end. So
Yeah.
what else have we not talked about yet?
Not much. There's already covered how the chapter 2 is structured. Every path has 9 levels. So 9 Zap, 9 Icicle, and then 6 Psycho, 3 Flame.
Yeah, that's gonna be the route PineappleDerp is gonna be using today. It's a bit flexible. It's definitely up to runner preference. You can do like just the entire third path of your choosing. You can do like any combination of like Flame and Psycho levels, really. It's just that there are some levels some people want to avoid, and some people are comfortable with. So it's kind of a choose your own adventure. Anyway, yeah. Pepsi Man! The greatest
Everyone
robot
loves
master.
Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man got scuffed from a boss fight in Magmal 2, but here, he's real. He's going to kill you.
He does have a cutscene as well, but it's skippable, so we just end up skipping it.
Yeah. The gist of it is that Pepsi Man confuses Zero for an agent of Coca-Cola, which is perfect.
It's good. Entrance Succession is kind of renowned for having a difficult skip. A lot of people struggle with this one when they first start running. It has this force field gimmick right here. The force field automatically gives Zero stomp dash speed for as long as he has it, and it can be used to power these machines. Right here, we're gonna be, trying to climb up right there and drop down into that, skipping a bunch of rooms.
Yeah.
That's really good. And yeah, as with
Now there's tripwire.
Force Facility, there's a lot of Force Beams here. These ones don't kill. They don't even technically like damage and stun you, they just drain your health, so they're pretty forgiving. This mid-boss right here is actually not one-cyclable, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's coded to not be one-cyclable.
Yeah, it turns off automatically after a specific damage threshold, so you can't one-cycle it. I'm sorry, okay?
Yeah. We just gotta live
I
with
didn't
it.
make this level, so look, not my fault. This is primarily based off of the escape sequence from Magmal 2, though. It's a lot... Some remix levels are a lot more subtle in terms of elements they take than others. This one basically has nothing to do with the actual escape sequence level besides the punny name and the increased speed. And I think that's interesting. You got more direct remixes, got more subtle ones. It's a good mix.
Yeah. At the end of the stage, we have Quickman once again, and Quickman is generally never good business. This one thankfully takes a lot of damage from our weapons, particularly Cutter Saber. But he does have a second phase, which is completely unique. Nothing like you've seen in a Quickman fight before. He uses Blade Cracker. Sometimes he does another attack where he just gets all the platforms out and then just starts walking across them using Yamato Spear. He's kind of using his Sakugane attack, which I didn't even remember he had, but apparently he does.
Yeah, he does. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, people in chat, this entrance succession is the level that was blessed with CD number 69. And it was skipped, sadly.
Nice. One day someone will do a 100% run of this game. It would only really be like 4 hours probably, but no one's gotten around to it yet. Anyway, Projectile Party. This level, it's technically relatively basic, but it has this gimmick of these tops encapsulated in the Gemini eggs, and it's a bit annoying because if you wanted to go safe, you would have to wait for the tops to fly away every time. What PineappleDerp is going to do most of the time is just ram into them and then just go straight. There are also these Wannabes that fire the paralyzing rings. Sometimes you can find yourself doing a cool strat with that where you like get paralyzed and then immediately hit out of it, and it's actually pretty fast. Most of the time you still want to avoid getting hit though.
There are a lot of weird damage boost strats. Like, I noticed earlier in the run, PineappleDerp sometimes uses the Stomp Dash and then damage boosts against an enemy really close to the ceiling, which fails to clip you in the ceiling because of a bug fix, and instead just pushes you straight outwards without losing any momentum. So
sad.
It's interesting to see a behavior like that utilized to go fast.
Yeah, you would only have to do the arena once, I'm pretty sure, after clearing the game. Anyway, that's Projectile Party done. Up next, what do we have up next? Oh, this is not one of my favorite levels. First, we unlock Construction of Constructions, which is technically a Chapter 2 level, but it's actually not considered for the story progress. So even if we were to do it, it wouldn't get us anything. So there's no point in ever considering it.
The rewards for beating the 2 optional levels are extra phone numbers to call on the Z phone.
Yeah.
But those are flavor numbers. Those aren't the numbers that actually matter for the speedrun. So there are a lot of phone calls. I guess
Voltron Factory I find is one of the most difficult levels in this run. It's it uses this darkness gimmick from Mega Man 7 combined with a lot of nasty enemies, and it also uses one of the generally most hated gimmicks, which are tornado batteries, except it puts a spin on them and uses them vertically instead of horizontally, and it also electrifies them at parts, and it's just a noticeable skill increase in this level in general. There are like a couple forced air dash usages and a couple of really difficult passages, and it's especially annoying to screw up in like a very difficult passage towards the end.
Literally 1984. Everyone in chat talking about the exclusive phone call.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll have enough time left by the end to do it, but it would be a funny ending, admittedly. Or, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, this level has like these 2 types of Joes, I guess. I don't know if you can call them Joes, but the green one just kind of sits there and makes these electric sparks along the ground, while the purple one actually jumps and tries to get in your way. They're pretty annoying. We're almost done. This segment is super easy to choke on and die on.
Yeah, this is
Because
scary.
This, yeah, it's just really difficult.
Careful.
Alright.
Alright.
So in the boss room we find Voltman, except, it's not
He's
the
real
Voltman that was custom made as an 8-bit sprite for the Megamix engine. It's actually the original DOS Voltman.
He's
For
real
some
now. He's gone.
Yep.
Well, this is so sad. If you like Voltman, do not post in the chat. Now you go
Alright,
from one of the worst speedrun levels to one of the best speedrun levels.
Absolutely. This level is amazing.
This is based off a Thundercliff plant from Magma 1. It is a lot more gimmick heavy than that level.
Yeah, it's a significant improvement, I would call it. It feels really, really satisfying to do this level just right. Basically, every enemy has been enhanced by, like, electric powers. You can see the hammer jewels giving off sparks, the cannonball machines being
My
super,
favorite
super fast.
cannonball. I love them.
And there was a lot of lightning coming down on the stage in these outside areas. If your movement is good, you can outspeed them all generally. There are some parts where you, like, have to slow down. But generally, it's a really fun level to just blaze through, because the level actually allows you to do that in most situations.
It's so good to watch it, playing it. It feels like I'm watching it 2 times speed. That's a good way to describe it. It's
Yeah.
just like, the movement in this game is, you can go so fast when you know what you're doing.
Yeah, PineappleDerp's movement is really something else. I was watching his world record run, which he got pretty recently actually. He just barely cut the sub 2, which was really good, and it was so good to watch. There is a potential for a collect call strat at the end of this level, but sadly it ended up, as we timed it, to not be any faster because of something I consider stupid, but we're gonna be seeing them soon enough anyway.
Yeah, I think it's only a couple more levels.
Mhm.
My favorite thing in doing that section is to spam rolling slash, jumping up the ladder. I think that's the optimal way.
Shocking Wacko stage. This is an interesting stage. This stage used to crash the game back then for some people. I don't know why. Now it's been fixed.
It was just in
really
dev
good.
builds. There was a bug.
There's this central gimmick of the switches temporarily turning on these blocks, and again, it flows really well if you just have good movement throughout here, and it's one of the most satisfying levels to do optimally because you just turn on each switch once, like as you go with some weapon, just barely even scraping it sometimes, and you just go.
This is also the first level with music by Delta Mudkip, I think. They made a very nice Castlevania medley. You'll be hearing more tracks, including spoilers, the final boss theme that I really like. Delta's very good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites as well, the final boss theme. But it's gonna be a while
right,
before we
Lost
get there.
Valley.
So.
Yeah, never mind, I'm wrong. Lost Valley had that Tunnel Rhino cover.
Oh,
I completely forgot about it.
I mean it's Tunnel Rhino, so.
Tunnel Rhino.
Tunnel
Rhino.
Rhino.
This is one of the only screens in the game. Well, PineappleDerp will be past it by the time the stream catches up, but that's one of the only times the stomp is actually required to not get hit. The movement in this game is awesome, but you're not actually required to utilize a lot of it, so it's very much like a skill ceiling kind of thing. And that's how I like my games, so I'm glad that this game worked out that way.
It is the way. Alright. Boss time. This is Alastor, I think.
Yeah.
He happens to have a pretty fatal weakness to, of all things, the regular burst. I always used Cutter Saber on him, which was dangerous, but it turns out he dies much easier to just a regular burst. So hopefully he dies before anything meaningful happens, because he can actually get really nasty.
Yeah, this is a Devil May Cry reference. The funny sword. I do enjoy how the sword spins around. Oh, here's everyone's favorite level.
If you were paying attention during earlier parts of this marathon, you may recognize the name Cheese, in particular Cheese A. They made a level for this as well. It's good, but it has driven me into Fury, occasionally. It's
This is the
definitely one of
famous
the
evil
levels where
bird
it's
energy
easiest to die and lose a lot of time and be really upset about it.
Yeah, at least we got evil bird energy. Who can argue with evil bird energy?
We did get evil bird energy out of it.
And I believe it's
again,
the first level with a collect call strat.
Yeah, no, there are a couple potential collect call strats in this, but they are also actually not any faster after timing them.
Oh, okay.
So the first level we're gonna see collect call strats in is gonna be the very next one, and actually the last one of the Zap path.
Oh.
Stony Spire.
You can tell that I haven't watched the world record run.
Yeah, PineappleDerp...
It only happened a few days ago, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, now the
He does a
bird
few
from
things
Super Mario
wrong,
Land 2
right,
will
but,
assault you.
he's the god, so... Generally you can trust him as far as doing the fastest strat goes. This auto-scroller right here at the end, this is absolutely infuriating. I think it's super difficult personally, and
Yeah, this is pretty brutal.
if you die here, it's painful. You have this, I mean, if you haven't noticed, you have the central gimmick of the bird constantly going up and down, destroying all floor and spikes except, like the isolated metal blocks. And sometimes you need it to progress, and sometimes it can get really awkward getting it to do that.
How it works is if it hits a metal block, it doesn't change directions. Otherwise, it alternates. This is the scariest jump.
That jump is nasty.
Alright, there you go. Yeah.
There we go.
That's the scary part of this auto-scroller.
That
basically over.
fake health is funny to me because it's a fake health that turns into an enemy, which then upon defeat is guaranteed to drop a big health. So it's like an fake out and an anti-fake out.
That's good.
Yeah, so yeah, big evil bird energy and whatever. This guy can be nasty if you run out of ammo for your weapons, and it also just teases you with the element of flying all over the place before going towards you. I remember freaking out about that the first time I speedrun this game. Alright, and this is our last level of the Zap path, and probably requires a couple explanations ahead of time. So, what are collect calls? Well, we have the Z phone now, and we can dial 4-digit numbers. There are a couple of Easter egg numbers that devs put into the game. Some of these require opt-in, and that basically means they do something special to your character. In this case, we're going to opt into the collect call 2525, which is going to be the most common one, and it flips our gravity. And this makes certain sections a lot easier and faster to traverse because we just kind of cheese them. And most of the time we're gonna have to flip back. But it still ends up saving a lot of time. Now, coming up here, he's gonna try and clip through a ceiling with this collect call and skip the entire intended gimmick of the stage. There is a specific distance beneath a ceiling where you can flip gravity and press stomp at a certain time. And then it'll just kind of let you through thin ceilings or clip you into thick ones. And so this is just based off of Rockman 4 minus Infinity's Cossack Citadel 4. There's 4 main paths, north, east, west, south. You're supposed to clear at least 2 of them to progress. And we just kind of don't have to do that ever since clipping with collect calls was found. Being able to flip gravity anywhere is kind of busted.
You'll never... One day I'll finally get a Magmal game out where none of you get to have clipping bugs and I'll have my revenge.
One day, maybe.
The funniest thing is that there used to be... What? The CD can ride on the elevator? I didn't know that. That's funny. Back in the dev days, I discovered you could just clip through ceilings if you called literally any number. Because the text box made you stand up for a frame.
Alright, hold on. I have to give an important question first. Guys, do you think we should save or kill Eddie in the upcoming level? We have a choice of basically making a sacrifice of a very notable main character, and if we save them, that's a bit slower, but they'll appear in the end credit. So
Nice.
make your choice.
There goes Sora Joe.
Yep.
After certain points in the story, or after certain energy element checkpoints, that is, some roamers appear on the overworld, but with the 2 Sora members that appear, You have to fight them. If you ignore them, they'll just go after you and fight them immediately. So you gotta deal with them.
Right. So now we have the Zap path, or the Zap chip. It has a nice speed multiplier, and from now on, things are gonna be going a lot faster. Because we're gonna have this equipped basically whenever.
Now it's even faster.
It's for like weapon abilities. Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah,
let's see.
save sees like a majority.
Save him.
He's coming up. Wow.
The fake out, evil moments.
PineappleDerp evil moments. I can't
Truly
believe this.
Tragic. Right.
Oh yeah, and then here comes this ridiculous movement. Well, now there's the sled section, but
beautiful.
Zap,
yeah.
Do you want to talk about the Zap chip instead?
Yeah. So the Zap Buster is pretty short ranged, but it's good because it's spammable and it has a paralysis effect. As do all the other weapons, I think. Zap Saber creates like a beam of light and it hovers you in the air for a bit. It's not that strong generally, but it has a bunch of good uses. Zap Burst is kind of the same as the regular burst, but way faster. And then Zap Drive, I underestimated this weapon for a long time, but it shoots out those balls on the ground that crawl along walls and ceilings. And honestly, they're like really powerful, so they'll be getting a lot of use.
Epic. One of the things about Zap Saber is that the animation comes out twice as fast, and then because I guess you could call it an oversight, if you stomp dash and then use the Zap Saber, you don't stop to do the saber, you just kind of keep going. So, yeah. PineappleDerp already putting that to use in Frosty Fields.
Yeah, that's some really cool movement tech, and you can like cancel knockback with it as well, which is cool. This is when spike drops freeze over. It's exactly what the name implies, except the spike drop's only like half frozen. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is one of the only levels in the game to have instant kill spikes.
Yeah, this level does in fact have instant kill spikes. And not that many checkpoints, so dying here is pretty punishing.
Yeah, most of the levels up to this point only did 7 damage on spike contact, which is only a fourth of your health, but this level and a couple of others actually do have instant kill spikes, so you want to be especially careful here. Dying is pretty fatal.
I mean, it's usually fatal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, but especially, or like making a mistake with the spikes here is pretty fatal, so you want to take those sections slow.
The irony here is, yeah, you saw PineappleDerp swap out of the Zap Chip. The Zap Chip multiplier makes doing the spike drops definitely harder. So,
yeah.
If you're not careful, the soul can get you.
We should mention chip energy regenerates on getting to a checkpoint. Since we constantly have the Zap Chip running, even if we're not using any weapons, we'll just run out of energy if we don't collect any weapon energy. And play the stage for a while and don't reach a checkpoint. Also, yeah, this level is rumored to have a boss, apparently.
Yeah, this level is based on Spiky Meltdown, which had a fake out at the end. This level's fake out is equivalent is less than noticeable.
Yeah.
You can kind of just fly over Blizzard Man. Blizzard Man will not be making an appearance today.
I'm sorry. Robot Ink Printing Facility. This is a super interesting level because this is one of the hugest skips with collect calls. There's going to be... You're gonna see these ink tanks throughout the stage, and the idea is that we need the right color to get through them and to like open them, fall through. In a lot of cases, or like with almost every one of these ink tanks, you can skip them with collect calls. Usually it's actually faster to just not do that because it requires a bunch of setup, so we grab the ink in most cases anyway. But there's a giant ink tank at the very end of the stage that requires going way out of your way to get the inks for it, and thus it's actually faster for that one to just skip it all together, and we probably save like a solid minute on that.
Yeah, this level is also based off of Press Garden from Sonic Mania, the best zone. In particular, some of the unused gimmicks for it. That's why it's in the ice path, because Press Garden's an ice level.
Didn't know about that one.
Did you actually not know?
Not It wasn't on my mind, at least, no.
Oh, okay. Dang, can't believe TimeLink hasn't played Sonic Mania.
I have played Sonic Mania.
Oh, well, okay.
Even, but I didn't know about
Dang.
this being based off of it, or like unused gimmicks. Alright, so this is going to be the strat right
here's the
here.
actual
He's
skin.
going to flip to get on the ceiling. He's gonna do the ceiling air dash and flip again to get inside the ink tank. And then he's gonna flip again to get on the bottom of the ink tank. And then he's gonna flip again to get all the way beneath it and just finish the level.
Yep. Sadly, this means we don't get to see Black Zero.
Yeah.
You get to mix all the ink at the end of the level, and you get a pure black silhouette Zero, but you don't get to see it. Dang.
Yeah.
Looks so wacky.
So this level has music from a game that doesn't exist. I don't know. People are talking about it as if it were real, but I think it's just a fever dream. This is Forgotten Fortress: The Lab. It's by the same creator of the original Forgotten Fortress from Magmammal 2. It's, I guess, like a different part of the fortress, because it's very different in theme. But this level, it's pretty fun. It has these like ice droplets that freeze you in place that can be really annoying, but usually you can go fast enough to where they'll never even have a chance to drop on you. There is also a really cool strat at the end of this level involving collect calls. It's possible to flip and then reach the end of the level without flipping back, but it's not very safe to do so. So I assume PineappleDerp will be flipping back at the end.
Yeah, and I guess a bunch of the lore was missed, but yeah, Magmal, because I'm insane, Magmal is an alternate timeline where the X-series doesn't happen. This is what happens to Zero. He breaks down and then goes on a grand adventure of his own. It's perfect. Magmal is just Mega Man Kingdom Hearts. This is a known fact. And they're...
Oh no! Gets... He gets an ice block left over,
well, that still
but,
counts. That still counts.
Yeah, that still counts, thankfully.
You
You can
can just
just
exit
exit
the
the
level.
level, and it'll count as a clear. But you can also just survive that by leaving more ice blocks alive right there. So yeah, you basically have a choice of what do you want to do, how safe do you want to go on that strat. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the second that you hit the energy element, the game saves, so it just counts.
Yeah. That's exactly what we abused in 24 hours as well. The moment we hit the energy element, we could just reset and go back to the stage select faster. Nocturnal Assault is honestly not that memorable of a level, I think.
Yeah, it's just kind of a chill level. That just is there.
Okay. PineappleDerp's gonna use gravity flipping to get out of his spike pit here. That's a thing you can do in
Dang.
this game if you're running this category. If you're ever like about to fall into a pit, but you can still pause, or like you're on a spike pit that you can't get out of, you can just call 2525 twice, and then hopefully you should be well and alive. It's kind of neat. It does take some time. It's like you get a small penalty, but I think this makes this category a bit more fun to run, in addition to just the skips in general.
I guess we could talk more about the Z phone. It's mostly 2525. There's a really wacky usage of a different call later that I'm not going to spoil, but you're wondering how many calls there are in total. There's like 60.
There's a lot of
oof.
there's a lot of secret calls, yeah. I don't think the public has discovered that many of them. There's also pretty obnoxious side quest with the Z phone that you get with a call in the game, but we don't talk about that here.
My greatest accomplishment, making people suffer with that side quest.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna explain all of it, but if anyone's familiar with the dropped item side quests from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, imagine that, but in Mega Man.
Yeah. It's
my greatest achievement.
I'll say, since someone's saying it, even if you brute force every combination, since it's only 4 digits, you still wouldn't find all of them because somehow time and place dependent. It's actually really, really funny how much effort went into the secret calls. Even if not all of them. Like, some of them are just flavor text.
Yeah, a lot of them are just flavor and jokes.
Yeah, 2525 is one of the ones that actually affect your character, and we're gonna be seeing more though.
Here's a Stompin' Violet, actually. Ooh, man. I love seeing the Zap Saber boosting like that.
Yep.
Yeah, people have actually already started brute forcing, and they found a bunch of new calls, but not quite all of them.
Alright, Springy Scaffolding. This is a super cool level. The gimmick is like a weirdly implemented wall jump of sorts, but it actually works surprisingly well. And again, it's really fun to go through. This is based on 120 ups under construction from Magmammal 1. Shoutouts to him. And this is probably one of the most fun, if also potentially punishing levels in the game.
Yeah, there's not that many stage-specific calls. I literally keep a text document of the ones people haven't found. I think there's like 18 left or something that haven't been found.
Alright, well, get on it.
Some of them will never be found normally. There's maybe one day I'll tell everyone dumb ones.
We'll see, another collect call strat at the very end of this. There's like a huge climb right here, and on this one it's just faster to just fall up rather than try to climb up, because that section is quite difficult. You can grab the element without flipping back right there, and again, you would die, but it would auto-save you, so you could just exit out. But yeah. It's pretty difficult, so no big deal here. Block Bunker. I don't like this level.
This level's another one that doesn't have that much to say. I like this level. I mean,
yeah.
I like most of the levels in this game. That's why they got through QA.
Yeah, it has a bunch of nasty gimmicks and enemies that are like really in the way. It kind of stops the flow of the stage. PineappleDerp has done a really good job, of like mostly eliminating like waiting times or killing enemies in a lot of sections, but it takes a huge amount of ammo. So like some of these up and downs we're just gonna go under, and then some of us will try and paralyze while they're still in the pit with weapons like Zap Drive later, which is cool strat. And shoutouts to Onacho, or however you would pronounce it. I think it's Russian. I don't know though.
I don't remember.
But yeah,
the one nice thing about this game is you can air dash.
If you don't know what you're doing, it's extremely tight on health, generally. Not because of the mid-bosses, because those die extremely quickly. Just because of the stage obstacles in general.
You'll never get the plot, because all the cutscenes have been skipped. Look, there's not that much important, right? A second.
We're gonna see a cool collect call up the building right here. Sadly, there is one point where we'll have to flip back because we can't progress right here. So we actually just take the opportunity to retry because this is a checkpoint. And then, I think we're gonna immediately go into 2525 again, which is unfortunate because like, there are some places like that where collect calls would be faster, but there's just like, a bunch of obstacles that require us to go back to normal gravity, so they don't see that much use, but they still warrant their own category for sure. There's some really cool, like, reverse gravity platforming in the stages.
Shockingly, none of the stages were designed with this cheat mode.
Yeah, obviously.
That's why
Nobody knew
cheat.
about this. It was like a last-minute addition, more or less.
Yeah, most of the calls were added in like the last like 4 days before the game came out.
Alright, this... Oh wait, no, this is not Midnight Aurora, this is Thrara Shield Attacker.
Oh yeah, the other roamer that you see in this run.
Yeah, so this is the third of the Thrara again.
Very long.
He's a bit weak to Cutter Drive, thank goodness, because this can be a pretty long fight otherwise. But he doesn't get much screen time here, potentially more later. But that's like at the very end of the run, so we'll get talking about that again. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, since Star Shield Attacker has the unfortunate property of being weak to the chip you're guaranteed to have, so he doesn't live for very long. Or they don't live for very long in anyone's playthrough.
This is the actual Midnight Aurora. It's one of the fastest levels out there. It's generally less than a minute long on a good run. Up there with Recall Recon, which we'll see later as well. So if nothing goes wrong, there is a dangerous segment towards the end, where you can die. But yeah, generally it's not that difficult to get like sub-minute time here. I should mention, this game has ILs and IL leaderboards, built into the main game. And if you just, if you're not like into doing full 2-hour speedruns, but you still want to try this for yourself, then feel free to just try a bunch of ILs with the levels you like. That's like, I started out with ILs in Magmammal 2 myself, and they're definitely super fun. Also, yeah, this was based off of Aurora Man from Magmammal 2 and Midnight Snow from Magmammal 1.
Yeah, it's a really pretty level. And now finally the last level of the Ice Path.
Yep, it's time. This is Metropolitan Neapolitan. It's based off of Neapolitan Man from Magmammal 2, the 4th place entry?
Yeah, 4th place.
Okay. This one's a bit tricky. It's really easy to die in here as well. There's gonna be a lot of Chillman blocks. Curiously, these are mostly not affected by the Zap Drive, so you can use that to clear out huge stretches of enemies across them. But most other weapons and things in general will destroy them, and it's really easy to fall into a pit and die. There are also some nasty conveyor sections in this level. There's one particularly amusing clip of me coming back to life and failing like 3 times over in this section. It's amusing. This is definitely a fun level, but it's more on the tough side if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, the reason why the Zap... I let my alarm go off again. The reason why the Zap Drive doesn't affect it is because in this engine the collision takes priority over hitting the block with the weapon properly.
Yeah, this is the aforementioned room. This is a really, really tricky room. If something goes wrong, you'll find yourself on those spikes trying to somehow recover, and it's not gonna be a good time.
I'm abandoning you again, TimeLink.
Oh my god, no. Well,
I'm quitting. Gone.
I guess, I think we're coming up on the boss right here. This is the Wafer Wagon, I think. It has 3 phases and 3 unique weaknesses. It starts out with, Cutter, then transitions to Zap, and then to a chip we don't have, which is Flame. So we're gonna be using the regular Saber for that. For now though, that's Neapolitan Man, from Magmammal 2. I think Mick Galbani's original Robot Master, piloting this wagon right here, and he's doing it, he's moving. This is a very good boss design, in my opinion. It takes a while, especially the last phase, because we don't happen to have its weakness, and, well, we don't get the Flame Chip in this run, so we never would have, but... after this, we're going to get the Icicle Chip, which... For most of our weapons, it doesn't mean anything. It also doesn't give us a speed multiplier like the Zap Chip does, or at least not a notable one. But as was mentioned before, the Blank Drive is super good when powered up with the Icicle Chip, so it'll be seeing a lot of use.
Oh, Neapolitan Man's dead.
Oh my god, she's back.
Yep, that's me.
Alright. So yeah, that's 2 paths done, 18 levels done in total in this chapter. We still have 9 to go, and now we could go another entire path. But again, most runners choose to do a combination of the Psycho Chip path and the Flame Chip path. So we're gonna be starting out on the Psycho Chip path. This is the Red Woods. I forget if it's based off of anything.
Pugsy. I was gonna say any Pugsy fans? Spade Magnus is a Pugsy fan. The creator of this level.
I'm specifically avoiding calling it the Psychopath because that sounds wrong. You all know it.
That completely unintentional pun.
Yeah. So yeah, this is where we're gonna be seeing Icicle Drive used for the first time. Icicle Drive is like a shield that loses HP as you hit things with it. Except, like, with the gimmick of the stage, these rotating flower paddles, we're not actually hitting them, we're just passing through them, and so we effectively get as much use out of it as we want. There's gonna be some sections later on where the exact scene film will come into play with different gimmicks, and some other ones. I did not know about this. What? Oh, okay.
Oh, you're showing the Woodman Easter egg. Good. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well,
That was
I didn't
classic.
expect that exists apparently. Anyway, what was I gonna say? There's gonna be some
There's
where it's way
totem
more
pole.
difficult to use as well.
I love totem pole and
That was good. That was good. Unexpected, but good. Next we're gonna move into Vertical Vine Venture, which, the flower petals in the last level are very similar to the vines and spikes right here, as in they don't damage your shield, and you just kind of get to be invincible. So this level is really, really interesting because, it's entirely vertical, so you would think there's like huge potential for, gravity flipping strats here. The unfortunate part is that we also need to flip back every time throughout the 3 main segments of the level. And I timed it out, and compared a good, like, IL run of this with collect calls to, Cheese's IL run of this without collect calls. And it turns out that the two are literally but exactly even on good, like, runs. So generally it's just not worth it and it's easier to do this. But yeah, I should mention, Cheese 8 has a huge playlist of IL videos for this game, if you ever want to get into learning it. They're without collect calls, but I have a like playlist on all the collect call strats that we know so far, so this is like the Magma game we have the most resources for thus far, honestly, because someone actually bothered to put effort into it. It has been on my mind to create a 24-hour tutorial though, because the game's extremely short and that now like I'm still good at it for the next couple of days until I get rusty again.
So one thing you'll be noticing that PineappleDerp is exposing is that Icicle Drive does not make you immune to spikes. However, the spikes in this level are not actually spikes because the engine hates it if you try to move the actual collision object spikes. So instead, most of the spikes are just invisible cutting wheels, the little spinning guys from Dr. Riley's Revenge. So they're just disguised enemies, which is why you're completely immune to all of the spikes here. It also means you can't get crushed by spikes here; you just take damage.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The Bone Dragon right here, he's weak to Cutter. You can sometimes still hit him while he's in the wall. Generally, this is a quick fight. The element drops are very delayed though, so the strat is actually to just hover in the middle until it falls down on you with Zap Saber, which is really good.
That's good. And more Castlevania remixes courtesy of Delta.
String Theory. This level is interesting. If you will ever find yourself short on balls during a run, this is where you'll go, because this little hidden alcove right at the start has 70 balls, and that's a lot. And they're very quick to get, so that's like the go-to if you need balls for, an upcoming item. But yeah, this level has a fantastic remix of Spider Dance. It's a very good level in general. It has a lot of branching and secret paths, and it's difficult to get through optimally, because that utilizes a bunch of the secret paths with difficult strats. There's a couple points where you can really get stuck if you happen to die, and you run out of ammo for certain things, like especially Icicle Drive. But yeah, it's a super good level just in general.
And apparently it's also somewhat of a bitrate destroyer.
Oh, dang.
Ooh, there's a bit of lag and then the game had to catch up. So here's another main gimmick of the level. You cut these strings for the spider sacks, eggs, and they start rolling. You can get a shortcut here, required for a couple of CDs. Oh, the bitrate is crunchy right now. I don't think this is the internet. I think this is the fault of the level. There's a lot of there's a lot of random stuff on the screen, like the light effect and the spider webs everywhere.
Hopefully it's just the stage. This screen right here is super difficult. The strat is supposed to be you knock one of the balls off as it's like mid-swing with a lot of momentum. PineappleDerp kind of chooses to ignore that and just damage boosts on the cannon. Also specifically make sure to not be on the ground during that screen transition because that has led to painful deaths before. And we're immediately fighting... Huh?
I was just gonna explain, yeah, you gotta be careful sometimes with boss doors in the Stomp Dash because they're a little unstable collision-wise and can sometimes end you.
Yeah. This is Recluse Woman. She's weak to Flame Chip mostly, but also to Cutter. And we can just kind of end the second phase early by dropping the bell.
I love this one.
Very good strat.
Gone.
Yep. Alright, so now, alright, this is gonna lead a lot of explanation. We're gonna be calling two new collectibles right here. We're gonna be calling 6666, which sets our health to 1, and we're gonna be calling 5000, which is going to activate a shadow clone-like effect if you've ever played Mario Galaxy. And we're gonna walk into a cutscene here, we're gonna get warped, we're gonna die mid-warp. The game's gonna respawn us back at the very entrance, and when we go back in, the game sees, wait, it's already warped us, and it just lets us pass through, and then we're at the end of the level, where you get warped back normally, after like 3 minutes.
Gone.
That's probably the single biggest skip in the game.
I really love that strat. It got creative with the wacky collect calls.
Yeah, that uses 2 collect calls that are never used anywhere else. It's very good. Cat Jump. This level is an absolute banger. This is also one of my favorite levels to speedrun in general. There are a lot of cool collect call strats in here, and the movement in general is just really, really good and fun. It's just a really good level in general.
This is
the main gimmick is like you have...
No, wait, I miscounted. This is the 5th level.
You have these enemies and gimmicks that are pink, and they're supposed to... Yeah, they have these time stop switches. They're supposed to stop when you hit them, and then other things become active instead. And there's also like super fast Yoku blocks that only appear for a fraction of a second. You're supposed to also stop time for those, but really we just don't care, and we just kind of fall up a bunch of segments in the stage. The geometry allows us to do a lot of cool things right here, platforming upside down. It's really convenient because we don't need to flip back that much, and we can traverse a lot of this a lot faster than we would normally.
Dang, just jumping onto the underside of crash lifts.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorites. Here we're gonna retry because we have to flip back, there's no ceiling. But we're gonna use the Yoku blocks that appear really quickly right there, and just platform over all the stale stuff. It's really good. We really don't have to care about the main gimmick of the stage like ever, and honestly, the fact that it allows us to do that is really good.
It's pretty wacky to see. This gimmick tries its best, and if you play the level normally, you'll have a good time. But there are a lot of ways you can kind of cheat the gimmick.
Really. So yeah, we're coming up on the end. The boss is also a time-stopping character. It's a Toho character. I don't know her exact name. Sakuya something. Throws knives, and she can be nasty. She like hops and floats around a lot. It's not a pleasant fight because you're gonna be taking a lot of damage chasing her around the arena, and sometimes it can take long. You can also opt to just use Ice Buster for this fight, I think. There's the same amount of damage, but can be awkward to use. So yeah, PineappleDerp opted for Cutter Saber. This is the last level we're gonna do on this path. This is bubble based. I've seen PineappleDerp do routes before we just clears out the entire Psycho Chip path. So we're missing out on Wicked Waterworks, In the Flesh, and the greatest level ever, Space Jam. We're gonna be moving on to a small part of the Flame Chip path soon. Bubble Base is relatively basic. There are some parts in the level where you're supposed to have these frogs from, I think, Challenger from the Future. carry you, which
Yeah.
I don't care about that a lot of the time. Sometimes it's too dangerous, but
Oh, I see
other
the
times you can
classic.
just blaze through with our speed.
I see the classic Bubbleman bit rate moment is occurring with the
Oh,
waterfalls.
Shoutouts to Toadman. This is the hottest boss in the game. He definitely won't be making an appearance on this run ever again. This is the last time we'll see him,
Thank you.
guaranteed.
There is the second option up a bit ago, Mojo Dojo, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
get to fight Yamato Man at the end of the level and get a phone call that lets you give boss advice. And that Toadman fight has one of my favorite calls in the game. I didn't write everything for this game. A bunch of the other dev team members worked on some of the other the phone calls in this game.
But yeah, again, sadly, neither of the optional levels count towards progress in Chapter 2, so there's no point in going into either Construction of Constructions or Mojo Dojo, which is sad because we never get to hear the funny Mojo Dojo background music. It's really good.
From that,
This is the one time we're gonna use a unique ability of the Icicle Drive to have you actually float up in water. This is like the only time it's ever useful, but it's actually pretty neat right there.
yeah, use the very next level, Wicked Waterworks, is the main water level of this game. So the fact that it's skipped means you don't really get to see a lot of the floating up in the water.
Yeah, Wicked Waterworks is nasty.
Yeah,
This platform,
definitely one of the hardest
she
levels.
just saw a fish out of water. She's a fish in water. She doesn't like electricity. So that's gonna
Most
be
of the
it
bosses.
for the Psycho Chip path. We are not gonna receive any further chips. Sorry, Wicked Waterworks.
But seeing that
alright.
Angela getting launched was funny.
This
Briefly
level
stuck in my
has
mind.
something special at the very end. You can now place your bets on whether PineappleDerp will hit a 1 in 30 chance for a special boss appearance, or if we'll just get to see the lame regular boss sprite. But this is Scorched Factory. Scorched Factory is pretty fun. It's another one of those levels that has instant kill spikes, sadly. There are some tragic deaths because there are a lot of moving spike sections and moving platforms in general, but it is one of the more fun levels in the game.
The first few levels of the Flame Path are pretty short, which is why this split exists in the first place. The Flame Path is actually pretty hard, it's just that most of the hard levels are a little later in the path.
Yeah,
Oh, that was painful. Got
that's
squished.
unfortunate. The thing about the Flame Path is, the third level on the Flame Path is Recall Recon, which I talked about earlier. It's super fast. It's generally less than a minute on a good run. So it's super worth playing the Flame Path at least up to that point, to get that, like, super fast clear. And then, on the fourth level, you run into the start of something I like to call the terrible trio of Dispute over Saw Blades, Scarlet Temple, and Refurbished Pyramid. And those are, like, theoretically pretty fast, optimally, but they're also really, really difficult. You would probably see them in a category without collect calls, because that would mean we couldn't flip cursor corruption, and so it would go from like a 30-second level to like a 3.5-minute level. In this category, thankfully, we can avoid doing those levels.
Yeah, the only reason that was behind was because I'm still watching the mainstream, so I saw the death that happened on stream.
Oh, what a save. Yeah, commentary is still a bit behind. We're still watching the VLC stream now, or at least I am, but
Okay.
it's not that much ahead compared to the stream. I've checked in occasionally. And yeah, we've had a lot of issues earlier, so we're just gonna stay like this, and hopefully the run will finish just fine. So yeah, the bow coming up on the boss. I hope everybody got their bets in, because we're about to reveal the exciting results.
Oh boy. The answer's probably no.
God, it's... alright. So this is Festus from Mega Man Zero. I don't know why he's here, don't ask me, but he's weak to elect, just like
Magic.
in his Source game. There is a funny sprite variant you can see, it has a low chance, but it's really funny when you get it. One of my older PBs had it.
I think you should figure out RNG in this game in order
Yeah,
to make them
I
always
agree.
appear.
I'm gonna use the fish on the world map to do it.
Yeah, this game. One of these days we had like a joke conversation about RNG manipulating in Magmal. This game actually does not call the RNG function very many times. The fish on the world map do. So that's where that joke is. But it also calls RNG on game start, which means there's no seed reset. So,
Yeah.
well.
Hot Steps is, well, for one, it's a cat gem, because this is Flame Stack from X2. This is a pretty interesting level, because it uses the oil from Mega Man Powered Up, which kind of became an in-joke during 48-hour submission time. Because, people always rumored about getting a box with assets, having their two gimmicks be this oil and Mega Man 6 oil. It never came to be, and we figured out that it was impossible for anyone to get that box, but it was a funny in-joke while it lasted.
It also became an in-joke because the gimmick is awful. And in Powered Up and in this game, if you try to move on it at all, it makes you slip. But this level decided to be smart about it and completely avoid that, and instead use it for weird oil chain reactions.
Okay.
Oh, that's
well.
wacky.
Yeah, PU oil does not kill, or like the lit PU oil does not immediately kill the player, unlike the Mega Man 6 oil. So this level is relatively easy and forgiving. We're gonna use the Icicle chip on this boss. Hopefully get it done pretty quickly with Icicle Drive, but usually you'll run out of ammo because it actually has more than one health bar, so it's not uncommon you'll have to back up to some other Icicle weapon. The other Icicle weapons, we never talked about them that much, but they're really not that good. The Icicle Buster, like, ricochets, which is cool, but it's kind of weak. Icicle Saber has these icicles coming out of it, which look really cool, but also kind of weak. And the Icicle Burst is pretty strong, it bounces a lot, but it doesn't have that many usage places.
I love Ice Burst. I think it's underrated and awesome and epic.
Maybe. This is Recall Recon. Recall Recon, like I said, pretty short stage. You generally want to get this one done. The movement in here looks really cool, because you have these explosive blocks that if you do it right, you can chuck them at the enemies, and everything just dies, and everything explodes, and it looks super cool. It is a pretty dangerous stage as well. You can easily find yourself in a pit here, if like an enemy triggers the block before you, or something else of the nature happens, but this is a super fun level to watch, like a really good IL of, for instance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't even get to see Flame or Psycho. I mean, we're about to get to chapter 30, so there's downtime. I can explain the other two chapters.
Alright, yeah, so this is the point where we have 27 levels in chapter 2 complete. And now, the next story progression level is gonna open up, Surara Headquarters. But before that, we're gonna get called to Wily Space, and we're gonna visit the shop, and hopefully have 999 balls. Cause a special item just unlocked, the double jump. And it's kind of okay. It's like, okay, we kind of generally want it. Ah, we are just short, that sucks. That means we're gonna have to go a little out of our way to get the double jump. Thankfully, it's relatively fast to do so. PineappleDerp had 984 balls. So it's not gonna be... we're not gonna like have to grind or anything. I don't know if he's gonna go into Surara Headquarters and just do it without double jump. Get bolts along the way. Ah, no. He opts to go to String Theory and do exactly what I mentioned earlier. To get a couple of bolts really quickly. So yeah, double jump unlocks right after you unlock Surara Headquarters, and we're gonna be using it for the entire rest of the game. It's... It makes the run just a lot more pleasant and easier, but also fast in a lot of spots.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can just skip with double jump. The double jump is... you can already cover a lot of distance, especially with Zap Chip, so double jump is... very, very... it can get you a lot of distance.
Yeah. So Surara Headquarters. This is the final level of Chapter 2. We're invading Surara Space now. I don't know what all these enemies have to do here. but I guess they weren't quite finished with renovations yet.
Look, yeah, we're finally back to a level that I made. All my levels got banished to the end game after the first 2 levels.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for the
yeah,
captions.
absolutely.
This is from Valhalla, the visual novel. This is a great song.
Also, go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of the enemies here. The gimmicks are new, but a lot of the enemies are from previous Magmal 2 entries. Yeah, you can already see how much the double jump makes things easier by just letting you skip a lot of things.
There is going to be a little key skip later on. We don't actually skip the key. We just there's supposed to be a climb up to a key and then back down to a key door. But it turns out it's actually possible to just have a laser damage boost you in such a way that you stop like stomp dashing into the next section. You can just kind of grab it, which is really good. I think we're gonna be coming up on it right here. So we're waiting for the laser, and we just barely missed it. That's unfortunate. So we're gonna have to climb up. It's not much time lost, but it looks really cool if you do get this.
Yeah. This is my special trick, forcing a stomp, and then making you miss that entire key section. That's my special trick. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, it's a bit evil. All right,
I'm evil. I'm a little evil. It's a treat.
This is the boss of Strara headquarters. Who is this? This is not a Strara member.
Yeah, you get to not see the plot because you skip the cutscenes, but Duo is here and he's sensing a little bit of evil energy.
We unfortunately skip a lot of the plot, or well, all of the plot in this game pretty much. It's actually very good. Pyro definitely has a hand for writing. And so we are moving on.
So good.
Chapter 3, Point at the End of Reality. This is the last chapter in the game. It's still somewhat lengthy, but we're coming up on the end, for sure. Where are we now, Pyro? And why are we here?
Tier X. I made this level too. You gotta do 2 me levels back to back. Also, I love the Chapter 3 art. All the chapter art is by Spin Attacks. So,
oh yeah, it's very good.
This is the post-game area for Magma 2, but now you're visiting it as part of the main game. Isn't that wacky?
So cool. Yeah, with double jump you can skip a lot of the Yoku block platforming in this segment, or like in the level in general. It's really cool. I believe how double jump works is that you like, you can like double jump and air dash, or you can like air dash, or
you can air dash and double jump in either order.
Double jump?
It doesn't matter. In the X series, it's mutually exclusive. You can only either double jump or air dash, but here you can do both.
Yeah, I don't think you can like dash jump, air dash, and double jump.
No, you can.
Okay.
It's just the one thing that the one limitation of the double jump is that it'll cancel your dash or stomp. So you'll always be going walking speed.
Alright. So, entrance to TX again. We have another gimmick that can be kind of cheesed by Icicle Drive because it doesn't actually hurt our shield. And so we just kind of end up passing through it the entire time. And that makes it so we can focus on the platforming more. And it's just really pleasant to just run around here, speed through it with the Icicle Drive. It's definitely worth getting it in general, even if you could argue that like Metropolitan, Neapolitan is a long level. People have discussed it before, but this is the route most people do. So this is the last member of Strara Metzger.
He's the leader of the bunch. You probably don't know him well. So the gist of this place is that it's a void. That what kind of way am I trying to summarize this? There's no point in summarizing it. If you want the plot, play the game now. Download on magmacontest.com.
Yeah, it's free and it's good. Alright, so TRX. We have the option, like we got given 9 new levels to play right here. We have to do 6 of them. So There are some levels we want to avoid. We generally never want to do Icebreaker because that's like 5 minutes. We also generally want to avoid Psionic Space Station. And then you get like a free pick as to what you want to avoid. And I believe PineappleDerp avoids Wilson Gas, which is a pretty difficult level, if potentially fast. And it's like, you kind of get a freebie and you get to skip on whatever level you don't like. And we're gonna be seeing the level I don't like later because PineappleDerp does it. But yeah, this is a level by Snoruntpyro.
Another level by me. Triple three in a row combo. And well, this level is the poster child for being cheesed by Ice Drive. Because the main gimmick of the level can't touch you. But that's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Otherwise, this level
it does make the level really fun, admittedly. Especially if you have double jump. Because we take a bunch of the secret paths. Because they end up just being faster than doing the regular way. We just go straight through, basically.
Yeah, this is the part of the game where more double jump exclusive stuff starts to show up. Because by this point, you'll have it. Probably.
Yeah, maybe. Generally. Alright.
Already almost over.
So now, this is shift posting. Whatever you do, do not remove the F from the title here.
Worst mistake of my life.
I don't like this level too much, but that's actually just because it lags a lot on my computer. PineappleDerp does not have this problem, thankfully. So we're gonna be hopefully seeing like a 2-minute run of this. The main gimmick is like you can stand under the green crushers or like stand above them and the others will kill you if they reach the peak of their cycle. Sometimes you can do cool strats where you avoid being crushed on an orange crusher. But generally you just go through quickly and you just generally avoid having to take many cycles to begin with for that to happen.
It's a lot of moving around stuff in the stage. You got the solar blaze things from Solar Man stage moving around, lots of platforms, pressures. I like this stage a lot.
It's pretty cool, admittedly. It can be really difficult if you're trying to go for like all the fast cycles. PineappleDerp's doing a really good job right here. But yeah, this level, it's difficult and it can lag your computer if it's not good. So, this is like a potential pick for the 7th stage you don't want to do, but then you have to do that stage. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this stage is called.
I think you know what stage I mean, so...
Or no, I was talking about this level. I was joking about the chat. But, I mean, yeah, I know what level you hate, and I think that's great. Heart emoji, plead, flushed, Among Us twerk.
But stop talking, please. Okay, so that was shift posting. Now we're going to go to Toxic Tunnels, which is, despite what it may look like, this is based on a Snoruntpyro level, but this is not a Snoruntpyro level. It's based on Magmammal 2 Wily 1, where it was a judged stage.
Yeah.
This level is a lot better than levels in T-Rex, I think.
I love this level. It's a really good take. I think I activated Sleeper Cell in the chat.
Oh no! Oh god dang it. Anyway, the main gimmick here is that you, like you can fill the entire room with water and low gravity but upon hitting the switches, which also makes these giant bees float up. And later on, it like turns into a different gimmick where it just periodically changes between low and regular graph. Shoutouts to Sonic something?
Sonic Mania.
Okay.
The mini bosses from Chemical Plant Zone.
Yeah, I know it was from some Sonic game. I didn't know which though.
We just had a discussion about how you played Sonic Mania. Why don't you remember this memorable,
like 3 years ago
memorable boss?
Hey, shut up.
Look, it's everyone's favorite boss. They just damage boost through because of the stupid shield.
Yeah. It does go down pretty quickly to Zap Saber here as well. I think we've reached... I cannot actually hear the audio this entire time, but I think we've reached the part where it periodically swaps between low and regular gravity. Which, it doesn't really matter for us because we have double jump and we can just kind of skip over everything anyway. But it does lead to some really, really cool jumps.
Look, I may have made an error and that thanks to the... Okay, look, I'm sorry.
Alright, so this level does not exist. I don't think. I'll let you talk about it.
Oh wait, what level?
Code Lanceville.
Oh yeah, my favorite. Yeah, I'm still watching this in mainstream because I don't feel like getting DLC working again. So, yeah, here's my masterpiece. This is the hardest level in the game, and I made it. And it gives people trouble. Gimmick not inspired by Celeste. Oh, seeing me fly through that is very fun. The main joke of this level is that it's based on a bunch of things that were badly coded from the previous games, with the main gimmick being lock pools, which refers to a system of how we like lock different controls, like cutscenes and stuff. And it caused some issues. And now they're here to preserve your momentum.
Yeah, it's a pretty clever pun, not gonna lie, but this level is just super rough, and this is the one I prefer not to have in my route.
Okay.
Generally speaking, it's not that difficult. These spike balls, unfortunately, they do eat up your icicle drive, so you can't just tank through them. Ooh, that was a tight one. But it is pretty fast if you can do it consistently.
Yeah. The difference between what gimmicks get cheesed by Ice Drive and which don't is if they're programmed to block shots, which the bond chains are, so.
Okay. Yeah, this level's scary.
Also, yeah, there's an AVGN reference here.
Oh, what?
Say hello to Glitchy Gremlins.
Oh, awesome.
My awesome
Isn't
pun.
there like a cheat that changes this level?
Don't. Shush. Shh. That's a secret.
Oh.
TimeLink leaking on stream that there's a call on this level.
Oh my! I didn't know. I didn't say anything. What?
I mean, sure. There's your Fangame Marathon exclusive reveal.
Yeah,
One of the undiscovered levels.
There's your incentive for watching
in here.
this run. Everybody who stuck around until here now has
Yeah.
secret info, I guess.
There is, in fact, a level exclusive call in this level.
Damn. I'm sorry.
Hey, here's a
Alright.
familiar face.
You saw this face earlier in the marathon. This is the Cloud Devil from 24-hour, except it's pink now.
Yeah, Cloud Devil 2.0. Yeah, the gig account is also here, but he's an icebreaker, which you're not gonna see.
Yeah.
So
Don't ever go to Icebreaker, please.
it's long, has auto scrollers. I like the level. It's just not good for a speedrun.
Alright. So, Lily Airpad. This is a very interesting level. It's like a gauntlet type of airship level, I guess. Has these fields that move you around.
Bitrate destroyer.
Yeah, that too. It's gonna be a little crunchy. It's gonna be in the upwards moving fields. We actually normally you would just have to hover up slowly, but since we have to double jump, we can actually just kind of jump mash up them, and it ends up looking really cool. And yeah, you get an incoming transmission right here. I don't know if this is very readable, but I think it's excellent dialogue for one.
Yeah, this level is basically designed like a Sonic level, so there's a lot of paths branching out everywhere. It is a very big level. Nobody knows who this mysterious character is.
Based off of Hardcore Parkour from Magma 2, which was one of the Tier X levels in that game as well, and definitely one of the toughest ones. This doesn't really compare to it.
Almost at the end already.
But yeah, this level does go by really quickly if you know what path to take and how to abuse the pushing fields, I guess.
Yeah, you got the lily pads that launch you, the pushing fields, and you got double speed fields as well, which
Oops.
is...
That's a rough one.
Oh. Yeah, again, I'm still watching. I know that was a late reaction to it, but look.
Alright, this
Like the
section is
second
pretty
or third.
short, and we're gonna come up on the boss soon. I don't know how many more tier X levels we have left for the final one.
I think this is the 5th.
Sounds about right. So this is Toadman. He somehow made an appearance despite me. I guess I was lying earlier, and he's still the hardest boss in the game, don't get me wrong. I'm very glad we got that fight over with safely.
Yeah, he's... Oof, I mean, really, just difficult. Yeah, that was the 5th one.
Nice one.
He's gone. No more Toadman.
No more Toadman. He definitely will not make another appearance. Rainbow Ravine. This level I initially thought was just too slow to be in the route, but it turns out with double jump, this level can be really, really fast. There's a lot of potential, really, really good movement in this stage if you have double jump, and it just also is really, really fun, and it supplies you with an E-tank, I think. It's another one of those levels that has a lot of instant kill stuff. We have the magma beams right here. That are instant kill. We have lava. We also have instant kill spikes for once again. So you need to be careful, but in general, it's a pretty fast and fun level.
The beams do 10 damage, they're not instant kill.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Wow, TimeLink. Did you know you can freeze them with the ice weapons? It's a very useful thing you can do that everyone uses.
I guess I learned something new today.
We all learned something new because you leaked the funny...
No. Do it. So yeah, we go some of the secret paths in this level again, because they're just a more straight shot to the end, even if they are pretty difficult sometimes. There is exactly what you mentioned. I guess now I've already got a demonstration of it. There you go.
That was foreshadowing.
Yeah, this entire next section is just making cycles with the magma beams. There's the one that's really difficult, but you can just make it fast enough and still like have the platform drop. Like I said, a bunch of really cool movement in this stage.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You can also do that to the fire cannons in Vertical Hunger, but you're never ever gonna see that.
Maybe in a New Game Plus run.
Yeah. There is a New Game Plus cheat that lets you start with all the chips, but I don't think that's really been ratted out yet.
No, not really. I think PineappleDerp has done a run of it. He's also done a run of all stages, which is just this category, plus Mojo Dojo plus Construction of Constructions, plus 9 remaining levels in Chapter 2, plus the 3 remaining levels here, plus the split path levels in Chapter 1. So it's like an hour longer or so, I think. But it is a potentially cool category if you want to see more of the game.
Not that much difference from 100% though, since at that point you just gotta get the CDs and
go
to the arena.
This is the finale. This is the final level of the run. Don't get ready on time yet. This is like 15 minutes long, but this is the final level of the run. Null and Void. This is a huge multi-person collab. A lot of people made like small rooms on each floor for this. There's like 24 in total.
No, there's more than that.
Okay.
It's 5 every floor. There's 7 floors, 5 every floor, except the last one has 4, so it's 34 rooms.
Oh. Well, on every floor you have a bunch of options. It's a bunch of floors have like some levels around the same length, some that are just undebatably fast, and some well, you can argue about some. This, for one, is a pick for floor 1. That's like faster if you know exactly what you're doing, the Four Seasons one. This one's a really cool sub-level, I think. I've never gotten around to learning it, but it's a cool floor 1 pick. This next one is once again by yours truly, and I don't like this one.
By yours truly, mine truly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't make a level for this game.
I had one in the works somewhat, but then Game Maker decided not to cooperate.
Man, you will live a life of regret.
I do have entries in 48 Hour and Mag Mammal 3, so that'll be coming.
Yeah, then you
eventually.
finally get to run your own level.
Yeah, yeah. Then I can
there's
finally
a
say
very
I need
important
this
room.
with a sincere smile.
There's a very important room and call in this.
Oh
game. You,
yes, there is a super important room on floor 6. I'm sure everybody knows.
You
what I'm
need to
talking
go
about.
to it to validate your run. If you don't go to it, your run is invalid and you'll get shot.
Yeah, it's true.
Earlier, TimeLink said Cheese has a bunch of IOs for this game. They have a really cool video on their channel that's just every room timed up against each other.
Yeah.
Per floor. It's a treat to watch.
It's actually really, really cool. They did a lot of work timing out these rooms and like showing what are options, what are the strats we can do, and could we like incorporate this into the run somehow? And on some it showed pretty decisive results. On some it was a bit more open. So we have it like decent consensus now, and Cheese is probably like the expert on that if you wanna get into learning this game, because it is really fun. Yeah, super unfortunate death right there, but we can actually do something cool right here. If we are in iframes while the spikes spawn in these blue lights, then they can actually push us down beneath, and it's a little skip. It's nothing major, saves a few seconds, but it is really cool when you get to pull it off.
You'll see a bunch of cameo appearances from the Star members because you're chasing them through the level.
Yeah,
another one of my rooms.
Yeah, I don't do this one either. I can... we never saw these enemies. These are on the last level of the Flame Path, ironically.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, what was I gonna say? It's like really atmospheric how this is done. It's like, you can take your time and go walk back to each floor to clear each and every one, but really what you're supposed to do on the first play is just like, rush through and chase Strara, and then it all comes to the final showdown on floor 8.
The fast travel doesn't open up until you beat the level once, so you can't backtrack.
Anyway, shoutouts to Zero Board. This is arguably one of the most important rooms, because it shows us
Zero Board!
Rush Jet for Zero.
Yeah.
This one's actually interesting. So you have these little airships right here. There's this little pink orb on each of them you have to destroy and then move on in a couple seconds. It's kind of based off of Crescent Grizzly from Mega Man X5. That's unfortunate, but I know what he was going for right there. For the last airship, there's a super cool strat where you go like you always screen transition without the Zero Board, because with the Zap chip you can do that and it's just faster. For the last one in particular, you wanna get like to the bottom of the ship, the bottom of the left side, and then you can kind of cheese it from there, because you can just put out the Icicle Saber, and from here you can just hit the weak point of the ship without ever going in, and trying to go around the maze and find it, and you just kind of skip this one.
This stage pocket is in the way.
It does turn out this is a bit faster than doing it normally, because this ship is huge.
I'm glad that Zero Board gets to make an appearance in the run. Zero's Rush Jet from the costume in Magmal 2 did not make an appearance in this game. Anyway, this is the most important room in the game.
Yeah, this is the most important room in the entire game. If PineappleDerp doesn't call a specific collect call at the boss of this, then he'll be immediately disqualified and banned from Fangame Marathon. It's that important.
Mm-hmm. There will be a hex placed on them.
On Mag Mammal as a whole. We will never get 48 Hour into Fangame Marathon if he doesn't call the number right here. So, he better.
This is also the only 3-way collab room in the game, which means the author feel almost covers the whole screen.
Alright, here we go. Here we go.
don't get it. It's just a fat Bugs Bunny.
Gotcha.
Letting it play out.
I love that. It's
Also, yeah,
so
your Wannabes
good.
has an amazing call here. You just call him, he says, Big Chungus? I'm hanging up. One of the classics.
So that's one of the greatest calls in the game. Alright, we're already on floor 7. This is the last one. This is largely based off of a newly added weapon in Magmammal 1 Remastered. It's Glassman's new weapon, the Power Orb. I don't personally like it that much, but some people are known to appreciate it, so...
This also has a fun cameo at the end.
Yeah? There is gonna be an interesting strat coming up in the next room, I believe, where we'll use, I think this might be our last collectible in the run, to walk across the ceiling and then just barely, get to the next checkpoint in front of the boss right here. And, it saves a little time because you don't have to do the power-up segment, and you get, like, a guaranteed instant retry if you happen to go for this strat. Oh! Let's go!
Oh. Oh, wow.
That's super clutch. Wow.
was
So
almost a
these are the
disaster.
altar archives. This is Quarantine Woman, refrain from making any jokes. Matchman, these are all bosses from Magmammal 2, used as 7-minute bosses, and this is Sheriff Man. Sadly did not make it into the top tier, thanks Doopy. And that is going to be it for Null and Void. This is floor 8, and here's where it all comes to the climax.
Yep,
This
final boss
is-
mallet.
This is the Srara Rush. You just fight one at a time while the rest sit in the background, eating popcorn, as you should. The problem with the Srara Rush is that you run out of blank drive ammo super quickly. You use it for most of them here. We now get to see that up and down's weakness is actually Icicle Drive. And we fought Joe with Cutter Drive, and we're gonna fight Shield Attacker with Cutter Drive as well. We do get a ton of weapon tanks by this point in the game. So it's like, okay, but you still run out of weapons super quickly here.
Yeah, case in point, already out of Ice Blink Drive, I mean, behind screen.
Yeah.
Do a help shot by giving you extra health.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool fight, all in all. There's an evil screen transition after this fight that can kill you if it likes to.
Yeah.
So you want to go safe on it and like air dash across here.
A little buggy.
But yeah, we are coming up on the final fight of the game right here after the Srara Rush.
Yeah, up and down dropping the popcorn. I love it. It's really good.
So yeah, we're gonna get another Yashichi, which instantly refills everything, one of each tank, and this is,
My baby.
what is this, Pyro?
It's Unununium. The little man. I love, look. It's only appropriate that one of the final bosses is also an MS Paint drawing. Because of original Magmal's Year being an MS Paint drawing. Unfortunately, yeah, no, they're gonna die way too fast since you get to see their main attack where they summon bosses from other fan games. Wacky fan games, that is.
Yeah, I definitely remember one in particular, but Unununium has a pretty fatal weakness to the cutter chip, so it kind of dies quickly with double jump especially. And now a bunch of more lore happens, and suddenly we're floating in space with Duo.
Yep, turns out everyone's favorite evil robot was hiding in the energy elements. So he's the final boss. Woohoo. Gotta bring back the explosive freefall. Choice game first.
Duo can like quote unquote die here. He'll just like be knocked out for a moment.
Yeah.
It's
Programming AI is
a
hard.
really cool climax
Sometimes
to the game, honestly.
programming AI is hard. Sometimes
Yeah.
Duo will just run into things.
Yeah, if you cut a saber during this, you just get the constant spin, which is good. But we're gonna be saving our cutter chip ammo for the final fight, because that's actually one of Trio's secondary weaknesses. His primary weakness, I think, is Flame Chip, because of Flames of Justice or something. But he does also have a weakness to cutter.
And
yeah, this is him. Evil Robot.
here's the real
Mega Man
cat
8,
jam.
the famous. This theme is so good. It was this is another Delta Mudkip one, and it's like a mashup of a couple tracks. I think it's Duo EXE, and then
Yeah. Then Kevin original and the Evil Robot theme for Made That Deathmatch.
yeah, it's really good.
Do a
Anyway,
shootout, and yeah, time is coming up pretty soon.
yeah, time's coming up on the last hit, which there'll be there's this sequence where you can't hit him, and there'll be another sequence like that, and then as soon as Zero lands the last hit on Trio, that's time.
Oh yeah, getting shot eraser is also very good in this because spin just deflects everything.
Yeah. Alright. So Trio puts up a final shield right here. You need to protect Duo so he can break the barrier. Right after that, you're going to be able to hit him and get the final shot in, and that is going to be time. So, that is in just a moment. And... time! That's it!
Ooh, you guys see a little oddity there where the rolling slash continues after you run out of Cutter Saber.
Yeah, it's really good. So that was
Spin
a
forever.
2:04 according to the on-stream timer. That was still really good, honestly. The current world record like for this game is just like 5 minutes less than that. And honestly, a performance like this for a marathon is stellar, where most people are stuck at like the 2-hour, 33-hour mark. But yeah, super good run all in all.
Dude, that was sick. That was a really awesome run. GG's Pineapple. GG's everyone.
I'm glad we got to showcase it despite having some tech sorted itself out. This is like a really cool game. It's still the latest one in the Magnum series, highly polished. Highly recommend giving a casual playthrough if you're at all interested. And if you're interested in speedrunning, like I said, there is a huge IL playlist out there, and it's really good to get you started. There is a dedicated speedrunning channel in the Magmammal Free Discord if you want to join that. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it for us. We have, I think, the VTuber games coming up next, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, as someone
Thank you
who
for having us.
doesn't know much about Mega Man Fangames, that was really awesome. Like, that was
I
a
love
really
watching
sick
this
run.
game played at
Yeah.
high level.
It's crazy. If you guys have anything else to shout out, then feel free. But if not, we're gonna be moving on to the next round.
I already said 48 hours coming out, hopefully within the next few months. So
Oh, yeah.
new game in the series will
Promise.
be coming. We're working on it.
Yeah.
But
Good.
that's one thing to look forward to.
I guess one thing, we did like look at Eddie in Frosty Fields, but we didn't actually save him.
Yeah.
We went the genocide ending basically. There was one little sequence in these credits, where you would get to see Eddie if you had saved them from that ice block in Frosty Fields. Sadly, that's not the case today. But these credits are also super well made. There are a bunch of little sequences from like the characters after, and I think they're really cute.
Yeah, I love this. This is all based on Mother Brain. It's good.
But yeah. Yeah, thanks for letting us showcase this. We submitted Magmammal 2 twice in a row now, Fangame Marathon 2018 and 2020. I'm glad we got to showcase 2 of the other games in this series. They're very high quality, at least the later ones.